buy her husband out of slavery. A free black woman decided to buy her husband out of slavery so they could live their lives peacefully together. But one day they got into a very heated argument, and since she technically still owned him, she decided to sell him to a white man. She later tried to change her mind and buy him back from a man named Colonel, but he refused. The woman who made this mistake name was Dilsey Pope.
Ain't no way. Ain't no motherfucking way. No. I thought it was an AI generated bull. Dilsey and her spouse had a heated argument. In a fit of rage, she sold her husband to a white neighbor. Oh my God. Man, that is. Do you understand the anger in your soul that you would have to have over an argument? Knowing during that time what happened to slaves, what slaves went through, how fucked up it was. To sell your husband back into slavery over an argument? Yeah, like that's like way above petty. That's way above spite. That's way above, oh my God, that's, oh Lord.
A free black woman decided.
Exhibit A. And for a lot of us, we'd be like, oh, women back then they was with their man no matter what. And Exhibit A. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Green Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And the spirit just had it. I just did another show about scallywags, but I forgot I had this in the arsenal. So this bitch decides to sell her husband right back into slavery. That's what the scripture says. She that is my enemy. All right. That right there, for all you brothers out there, the difference between ancient Egypt and this thing that we're going through is that back in ancient Egypt, our forefathers, which were us, we had our wives. This one, they ain't our wives, they're not. That they don't exist. They exist some, not knocking the some, but that behavior, you can see it clearly, and a lot of people is gonna turn on one another when all hell breaks loose. All right, that's why the Lord said. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read this one. As Micah 7:6, it says, "No, I'm gonna start at 5. Thus, trust ye not in a friend, put not ye confidence in the guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom." And that's something that man should have done. Because once you give a woman power, when she's drunk off of power, she will ruin everything. That's I guess this would be a part 2 to the other one. Like she really did that shit. Like she really sold her husband. And here it is, you watch movies and guys will go Rambo on a whole bunch of dudes to get the love of his life. And then you have a bitch that had power and she just said, nah, I'm gonna sell this guy because of an argument. My God, like, yo, that's just diabolical. That's evil. All right, that's the individual that we're dealing with. Hold on, Sirach 26 or no 25. It says, I start at 16. I'd rather dwell with a lion or a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her her face and darkeneth of her countenance like sackcloth. And that's exactly what happened. All right, I'm gonna jump down. It says 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. And that's exactly what that was a display of. That's a female's nature right there. That's why spirit need power, bro. It's not about money. Money don't mean shit. She can always find the next guy who have more money than you. All right. It's not about how you good in bed. That don't matter. She can find somebody else that's better. All right. It's not about none of that shit. It's about power. The Lord designed women to seek out power. All right. Is a blessing and a curse. And right now we're suffering the curse of that. Okay. Matter of fact, it says this, for the son dishonor. Go back to Micah 7:6. For the son dishonor the father, the daughter rise up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. What it's not talking about them, it's talking about everybody. Everybody's your ops. Once you come into this truth, everybody's your foe. All right? And don't think that once you leave, they'll be back your friend. They always hated. These people are miserable. They're miserable souls. And misery love company. And everybody has a feminine spirit. If you being in this truth, you have a masculine spirit. You deal with certain shit that most people can't deal with. All right, people like the comfortability of things. They like the fairy tale. You know, yeah, we like certain things to be better, but we just deal with the things that is. And the Lord gave us, He forewarned us about this. Micah 7:10 now. Then she that is my enemy shall see it. And that situation, what this bitch named, that Daisy Pope, whatever, she was the devil for doing some shit like that. And like the guy said, he's like, yo, you know exactly what was the condition of back then for you to do that. Yeah, I don't know how much. We're not bound to the so-called black woman. All right. She broke that tide long ago. And that reaction that was done by that woman, that whole thing that she did, she broke that bond. Why? Because she had a heads up on him at the moment. All right. You gotta understand, you scallywags, you skanks, you whores, whatever. Especially, I take that with badge of honor right now because the man is weak at the moment. But when the man get his strength, don't expect no fucking mercy. Because a man, once a man is, and the Lord did that purposely. That wasn't because he sort of so-called white man is stronger, he's wiser, and all that shit. No, it's because the Most High Himself, the Lord Himself, had to diminish his men, His sons, all right, to look weak. And any woman that's stuck by those men, you are prey. You're a God sent comfort for that man, and vice versa. And that's a heavenly connection right there that cannot be broken. All right, because everybody else, they fall for that. They fall out of it. That was part of the punishment. That was part of the deal. All right. It says, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. So you will be destroyed. That hatred that you have towards your man is going to expose you. All right. Go to the enemy. Keep going to the enemy. Enjoy the momentary bliss that you have. And we all know survival is number one. And when it comes to you, but y'all about to lose everything. You already lost your men. And when all hell breaks loose, y'all about to lose your lives. All right. That's treachery, man. Going back to this real quick. It says, Sirach 25 and 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abideth the courage, maketh heavy countenance, and wounded her heart, which are mine. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, maketh weak hands and feeble knees. So the man would have been all right if you stuck by him. He would have built up his strength. But since you did not do that, you helped weaken the man. All right. But once again, it doesn't matter because you have other women, other tribe women, and other nation women that will have a problem strengthening their man, strengthening the man of Israel, the so-called black man who you deem weak. All right. That's why when you listen to these other nation women, what's the best thing they say about the black man? He know how to treat his woman. And here it is, the black woman saying, nope. If she had the opportunity, she would get the man killed because she's not happy. It says, of the woman became the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So that's your responsibility. That's your gift to society. Okay? Your gift to society, your gift to mankind is you brought sin, and sin equals what? To death. The same thing that you're afraid of, you help push in this society, and that's death. So you're gonna pay the hefty price. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to get abroad. And you don't deserve freedom because once you have freedom, look what happened. That's heart wrenching right there. At a time, at a desperate time, and that proves right there that when shit goes bad, she will betray you. She will betray you. This route of survival is only one route, and that route is every man and woman for himself. Okay, you got to punch in your ticket, and all you sisters out there, you got to put in that work. You got to fight. You got to fight to stay in, like your man. You got to fight to serve your man. You got to support him. The Lord's creating a nation, not individuals. But there's going to be a lot of treachery when that time comes. If she go out as thou wouldest not have her, cut her off from thy flesh. So all you young brothers out there, do yourself a favor. If she try to take you out this truth, try to oppose her will, her happiness, or whatever. And when it comes down to it, that happy wife, happy life, the Lord not hearing that shit. All right. Yahweh Bashim Shai is not hearing that shit. He don't give a damn how happy that bitch is. And I'm being straight up. He don't care how happy a woman is. So the priority is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Everything else is secondary. So if she's not aiding you in this thing of ours, cut her off. All right, she's trying to hinder you, trying to not make sure you don't go to camp. You try to do a show, she's finding reasons. She's just being a devil. Cut her off. Other than that, she's wanting to please her. She don't get out your way. She don't do certain things. Then you could deal with her. All right. It's not about breaking up the family. It's about maintaining a righteous family. And it says, and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. And the Lord said the only way to give your wife a bill of divorce is if she commit adultery. If she go to that extent, then you really cut her off. Save you a headache. All right. So yeah, this right here is Exhibit A of a female's nature.
Lifting weight. A free black woman decided to buy her husband out of slavery so they could live their lives peacefully together. But one day they got into a very heated argument, and since she technically still owned him, she decided to sell him to a white man. She later tried to change her mind and buy him back from a man.
I'm sorry. How you change your mind when you make how? Like you felt all of a sudden you felt bad to what's the heat of the moment. This is why Paul said that women should not usurp authority over men. Look at the shit that she just did as Exhibit A. Look what she did with the power that she had, which was no power. All she had was a piece of paper, which they could have easily tore that piece of paper up and say, "No, bitch, we'll push you back into slavery." And then she's gonna want a strong black man to take care of her, right? But look what she did. Look at the bullshit, yo. That's crazy.
The colonel, but he refused. The woman who made this mistake name was Dilsey Pope.
Dilsey Pope is the devil. So with that being said, hold on.
Peacefully together. But one day
Dilsey Pope is the devil. So that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.